Now, I know a lot of us are eager to get started in our event space business. Maybe you've seen a building you drive past quite a few times going to work, taking your kids to school, whatever the case may be, and you're like, this is a perfect location to get started in my event space business. But before you do that, I want you to take a deep breath. I need you to watch this module at least 2 times, okay? And I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible and as painless as possible, but I'm trying to save you. So before you sign on the dotted line to get your event space business up and going, I need you to ensure that you are in the correct place for an event space. All right. Now, so many people, they just jump online, they see all these influencers telling them you can get the event space, you can get the event space, which you can. It's not hard to do, but you want to make sure that you are doing it the correct way, not just being influenced by a bunch of people online. You want somebody who knows the real. And I'm giving you the real information based on the fact that I am a multiple event space owner. I've helped hundreds of people in different cities and different states to open up their event space business. And we don't just open up, baby, we want to be profitable. Because what's the point of being booked and busy and broke? We're not doing that, okay? We are here to be paid, peaceful, and profitable. All right? That's all I know. Now, I do focus on the 3 F's: finding a location, financing a location, and freelancing a location. All right? That is how we are able to have the money coming in, but still sipping lemonade in the shade. All right. Now, the very first thing is location, 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 location. You heard me say it multiple times on live. You heard me say it all times in my content. The location makes a difference. Okay. A lot of people think that location is all about pretty floors. Baby, it's deeper than that. Okay. It is about zoning. Zoning is king. You want to make sure that your event space is zoned for commercial and or assembly use. Heavy on the assembly use, okay? Now this may be interchangeable in different locations, but you want to be sure that you are able to have people come in for an event. A lot of people say, you don't got to tell them what you opening up your business for. That's none of their business. It is absolutely their business, because if it is not zoned correctly, they will shut you down. Now, you cannot just rely on the landlord and take their word for it. You have to do your due diligence to ensure that it is actually zoned for assembly, okay? You have to go to the city planning department or the city building department, whatever it's called in your area, and you want to ask them for a zoning verification letter. It's as simple as, hey, how you doing? My name is Jazz. I'm looking at this space at 123 Apple Tree. I want to have an event center there. Is this zone for assembly? Can you please provide documentation that it is zoned for assembly? You can look online to see areas that are zoned for assembly, zoned for commercial use, etc. They have now, not every area again, because you might be in a small town and y'all might still be writing on tablets and with stones. I'm just kidding. But y'all might not have that system set up where you can go and search online looking for zoning, and that's perfectly fine. What you want to do is you want to just call down, go down. I would say going down there in person, because if you form a relationship with the people in the department, you can get insider information, not like insider trading, but like if they know that this space is coming available and it's what you are looking for, they'll let you know. Or if they know that there's a problem with that space, they can let you know. So you definitely want to make sure that you pay attention to zoning. There's this guy, he had opened up an event space. It was cute. I've done events there. And then he ended up turning into a bar, lounge, coffee shop, whatever the case may be. And he posted that he was being sued. Not only is he being sued for an illegal lease, he is being sued for illegal updates to the space. So basically what it means is, we gave you this space under the premises that you were going to open up this type of business, and you opened up a whole nother type of business that it's not even zoned for. Not only did you do that, you did all these updates, and now we want our space back, and we have to remodel it to get it back to the correct state. So we need some paper for that. That's literally what that's about. And it's unfortunate, because I could just imagine how much money he's put into building out the space, doing the remodels, the tables, the chairs, the marketing. He has a whole brand. Like I said, His event space is really nice. It's more than your event space being nice. The chandeliers, the walls, the floors, all of that. It gets real deep, okay? So you want to make sure that you zone correctly. If you're unsure, call somebody. Ask them, hey, is this space available for what I'm trying to do here? Don't try to be sneaky and say, oh, I'm just going to do balloons, because when they come in there and it's way more than balloons and you're doing full out parties and you got DJs and people hanging from the chandeliers, they will shut you down. They will shut you down on your grand opening. They will shut you down 3 days in. They will shut you down 3 years in. You can have an event space up and running, rocking and rolling, and they catch whiff and they're like, hold on, we didn't know you was down here doing this. This is illegal. And they could shut you down. They'll lock you out. That will cause problems with your brand and your clients. And then ultimately, you can get arrested or sued for it. It just depends on how many games the system wants to play with you, right? Or I guess how many games you playing with the system, because you started it, right? So as opposed to just finding a location, you want to make sure that you are taking into account those deal killers, all right? So if you want a big event space, 300 people, you want to have lavish weddings and all of the things, you need to have a sprinkler system. If you do not have a sprinkler system, you will not get approved, okay? If you want to have a huge event space, you have to have the proper amount of parking spots. Typically, it's one parking spot for every 4 people. That determines your capacity, your occupancy, whatever the title is used interchangeably, but that determines that, right? And also the bathrooms. How many bathrooms are you going to have? Are they ADA accessible? Do you have at least one bathroom where the people with wheelchairs can roll up in there, use the bathroom? They have a guardrail. It's enough space that their chair can fit through the door. That has to be taken into account, especially for y'all that want to have these huge event spaces with these lovely, beautiful weddings and all of the things. You have to take that into account. So all of this comes into place as far as zoning and occupancy rate, all right? So that is the biggest thing with finding a location. The next thing you want to do is figure out the financing part. How you gonna pay for it, player? When I first started out, I started out with my own money because I thought I was big boss jazz. I got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't need nothing. I don't borrow money. Who? I'm the lender, not the borrower. That's what it say in the Bible. Baby. Once you start opening up multiple locations, you will quickly learn. Let's use them other people money, okay? Let's free my money up so we can buy these foam pauses and Jordans and travel and do cartwheels, because if I don't do this right, we ain't gonna be traveling for a while. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to do that, and you don't want to be stretched thin, burnt out immediately. So you want to make sure that you have enough capital to get started, okay? If you are using your last $10,000 to get the keys, you're doing it wrong, okay? You're working against yourself. Then you also have to have a little bit more cushion for the build out if you have to do any updates. Did you already have tables and chairs? A lot of people do not already have tables and chairs. Those are not free, honey. And the majority of you guys want to have huge, elaborate, grand openings. You thought that was cheap? Baby, that's gonna cost you a pretty penny too. So you have to factor all of these things into play. And the one thing most people do not factor in when they are doing financing is they do not factor in marketing. We gotta let these people know what's up. Flyers aren't cheap. Business cards aren't cheap. Running ads on social media, that's gonna cost you. You need to hire a marketing team. They're not gonna do it for pennies. You have to have money to get this stuff started. Now again, we talking about making 10 to 30K a month profit. So we can't take this lightly, okay? I'm not gonna play with it. What you need to do, my friend, is you're going to have to learn how to leverage business credit. You're going to have to learn how to get approved for loans and grants and have your credit cards on deck and all of that. But we don't want to just tighten up the reins on our personal credit. We need to use business credit. So you need to know how to structure your business appropriately so you can get business credit, you can get business loans, you can get grants and etc. to get your business up and going. And we don't want you just to get up and going and then fizzle out because you burned through the cash. We want you to be able to get bookings in when you're in the planning process. Like, okay, well, I know I'm gonna be open in June, so we'll give you a discount if you book now for June. You just pay the deposit, blah blah blah, whatever. You need to know how to leverage credit and pitch decks to get yourself in the door, and you need to know how to stay in the door, because again, we're building sustainable businesses with longevity. The next phase, the third phase, I promise I'm not gonna keep you any longer. I'm trying to hurry this up. But the last and final stage, freelancing. Okay, freelancing is my favorite part. Okay, I love this part. And if you do not know me, then of course you kind of confused. Like, girl, freelancing, what you talking about? Automation. You have to automate your business. Okay, when I first started out, I did everything in my business. I did the tables, the chairs. I had to clean up. I had to do the branding, the marketing. I had to do the accounting, all of the things. If somebody wanted to see it, oh, wait a minute, I got a lunch break at 12. I'm on my way. I'm going to open up the doors for you. I can remember so many times I was rushing down to meet people so that I could open up these doors for them. I remember so many times like I was scheduled to, one time I was in Chicago and my event space was in Cincinnati. Two different time zones, right? It's an hour. Chicago is an hour behind. So I had talked to the lady on the phone. I said, oh, okay, yeah, I'll meet you on Monday because I was going to be back. And I scheduled it, but when I scheduled it, it went to Chicago time zone as opposed to Cincinnati time zone. So I got there, but I got there like maybe like 10 minutes late. It was this whole big ordeal. She wouldn't have left a negative review on Google or Yelp or something like that because she was upset that I was late. But I was only late because the time zone difference. And I saw it late and I was like, oh shoot. So, but by the time I got down there, it was only 10 minutes difference. Like I wasn't super late. Now I'm not saying that she was wrong for being upset, but she used to leave a whole review, girl. But that was really what happened. So when you do things like that, it really puts a damper on your business. You got to do everything. Like you can't even really enjoy life. You want to go on a vacation, but you booked. If you want to go on a vacation, you got to schedule out time. We're not taking no events on this date because I'm going to be in Aruba with my girls. I'm going on a vacation, so I can't take these dates. So you missing out on money so you can go and spend money. And I get it. We still got to have a life because, baby, let me tell you, the burnout is real. I remember getting hit so drastically when the world opened back up from the pandemic. My kids were home from school. I was working full time. At this point, I'm running my event space full time because I had events Wednesday, Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. It was one time I had 4 events on Saturday. I had 3 events on Sunday. I was like really, I'm talking about humping, getting, and I wasn't turning nothing down because who? I don't know if y'all know about me, but I'm a hustler, baby. I'm taking every dollar. So I couldn't turn nothing down. If I wanted to go on vacation and somebody said, oh, I want to do this date, the flight ain't booked. Here, yeah, let's come on. I'm taking your money. I was moving stuff around left and right. And a lot of people do that are in the event industry. My homegirl, she had her little brother's birthday almost 30 days later because she was scheduling around her clients because she's an event planner. It is the same plight for all of us in the event industry. Everybody wants to do everything on the weekend. Those are our prime days. So when our cousins want to go on a cousin trip, you think they want to go Monday through Thursday? No, they want to go on a cousin trip Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Might stay till Monday. You missed out on all those bookings because you did not freelance your event space. So at that point, I knew I needed to figure something out. I got me an assistant. She was helping out. I was able to go on tour. We had a bunch of hiccups, not because of her. It was mostly because of me, because I just told her what to do, but I didn't train her. Okay, so that was mistake number 1 with trying to get automated. Then I got the systems in place, so I didn't necessarily need anybody for all of the things. I just needed somebody for some of the things. Got my systems in place. I was able to enjoy my life. I was able to actually pack up and move from Ohio to Texas, where I was able to take a deep breath and unplug while my event space was still running on autopilot. Okay, we teach you not only how to automate your business with what is those, the safety deposit boxes, what are they? I don't know, the smart locks. My bad. With the smart locks, some people do use the little safety deposit box. It's not a safety deposit box. I don't know what it's called, but the realtors use it and they put the key in it. But we use smart locks and automate the bookings through our website. Now, some people use other platforms like Peerspace and Gigster, which is perfectly fine. Whatever works for you to keep you from having to be tied down to your event space. Because who the heck wants to be a prisoner to their own business? A lot of people really do burn out and end up quitting. And they like, oh, they wasn't making no money. But if you really look at the books, they really were making money. They just were tired. They like, I'd rather just do a 9 to 5. At least I get 2 weeks off of vacation. Because just imagine you buying all the new shoes and clothes and you can't go nowhere to wear it because you tied down to your business. So you want to make sure that you implement these things into your business so that you are able to enjoy the fruits of your labor and you're not missing out on any money. That's my TED Talk for today.